G'day guys, it's Stuart here from Dougie Bird's Tackle World down on the Gold Coast. Well, I'm here to do the fishing report once again. This week is the Friday the 23rd, Saturday the 24th and the 25th of February. So we're towards the end of the month, and the best thing is the mackerel closure has opened up and we can now go and catch Spanish mackerel and keep a few for a feed as well. So look, getting right along. Obviously today's the Thursday, 22nd. The weather was really nice this morning. Lots of mackerel caught, both spotties and Spanish. Just off the Gold Coast, really close guys. So the 18s and the bait reef this morning had a lot of fish on it. A lot of guys trolled baits, and it was really, really good. So very effective, but lots of other fishing to be done as well. So as always, we'll start out wide, we'll work our way in, and yeah, we'll go from there. Now, before we go too far, this weather for the weekend, look, it's always unpredictable, but this is as of the last update, which I checked about 5 minutes ago. And look, at the end of the day, guys, it's looking not too bad for a bit of an early run. Saturday morning over the weekend, doesn't look too bad, a little bit of northerly in it, but under 10 knots, quite fishable in close. And then Sunday, unfortunately, we do have that southerly change coming through. So it'll still be light early, but it comes through at about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and it'll be around 10 to 15 knots pretty quickly after that. So yeah, so definitely if you can get out there, Saturday's the day at this point in time. Sunday morning maybe at a stretch if that southerly does come through a little bit later. Fishing this week, guys, the weather's been half all right. There's been a bit going on, and definitely worth a shot over the weekend. Deep dropping, I haven't really heard it too much because there has obviously been a little bit of wind, and I mean it doesn't take much to get a little bit ugly out. That deep water, like we're talking 300 to 400 meters plus, but just inside of that, so around that 150 meters type of thing, 100 to 150 meters. Still been some good kingies around jigging, and still been some pearlies as well. Obviously this time of year, that current is definitely unpredictable. Last time we fished out there, I think it was 2 to 2.5 knots, so very quick drift, but still not too bad. You just got to go way up from your mark or where you sound those fish, and by the time you get to the bottom, you want to be in that, like in the zone. Hopefully catch a fish or catch a couple of fish on that little bit with your baits down in that right depth or your lures down at that right depth, and then it's a long drift out of it by the time you get your fish up. So look, you just got to kind of overcompensate your start of your drift, and just hope that you kind of land on the mark or be on the bottom and you can drift over that mark with your everything in the right area. Apart from that, definitely lots of dolphin fish on the fads still. Again, throwing little hard bodies, throwing little plastics, and float lining half pillies has definitely been working very well, and just try to get there nice and early. So with that good weather, or good morning weather on Saturday, the fad shouldn't be too far out of reach, and just try to get there nice and early. That fad on the 24s, guys, I know it's the closest fad, it's the easiest to get to, everyone can kind of get to it, but it doesn't hold many fish. We do see them at times of the year. Always has a lot of little kingies around it and stuff like that, but it doesn't hold many dolphin fish. So at times, yeah, definitely there's a lot of dolphin fish in there. Depends on that current as to where it pushes that warm water in and bait, and that'll attract the fish. But at this point in time, all the fads to try would be on the 50s or the 36s, and yeah, so coming back in a little bit more, still lots of snapper and a few tuskies and stuff like that around those 50s and 36s and 50s reefs. Just using those little ball jigs, always pretty effective, and if not, just a trusty old Paternoster rig. Lots of flash and lots of like tied dressed hooks work really good. I've actually forgotten them, they're downstairs. I've got plenty in stock, but just to show you guys, but lots of flashing stuff is definitely really good for the tuskies, so, and the snapper as well. But if you want to catch a few tuskies and stuff like that, using those dressed Paternoster rigs are definitely more effective than not. And you get kingies out in that depth, guys, as well, and the odd amberjack and stuff like that. So a bit of a mixed reef around that 36s and 50s. I see Dave Palermo, the snapper fisherman off the Gold Coast. He's a pro. Still been getting a lot this week as well, so still plenty getting around, and we've got a few customers that fish that 36s and 50s as well, and they've been getting them as well. So coming in closer, so around that 24 fathom line, definitely worth a look for some Spanish. As I said before, the closure did open today, and lots of Spanish caught this morning. So around that 24 fathoms, so Diamond Reef type area, the 18s, the bait grounds, all of that type of thing, Mermaid, Gravel Patch, lots of Spanish, lots of spotted mackerel as well. But trolling baits has definitely been pretty effective. So they're just a little pilly rig that we make up in store. I've showed them once, I'll show them again. Very effective, easy as. Just put a small slimy on there, small yakka, small pilly, that type of things. Troll them around just in gear. We rig them on 58-pound wire, single strand, so it's nice and thin. And we do a few different colours as well. We do whites and pinks and greens and all of the tried and proven. Other than that, small hard bodies as well. Been working pretty good. So the little Samakis, that's just a 120 DD, so double deep. And anything that gets down with a little bit of depth, guys, been working a treat. And look, Spanish is still going those small lures as well, so you don't have to fish those massive 180 or 220 mil lures all the time to catch Spanish. I sold a couple of little smaller lures to a customer just last week. He zipped out there and put them straight in the water, caught a Spanish straight away, obviously in closed season, so he just took the hooks out by the side of the boat. And next run, got another Spanish, so we had to let that go as well. And then got a couple spotties after that. So you will get spotties, you will get Spanish, both on the same lure. But it's more relative to the size of the bait. So we've seen a lot of small bait at the moment. So small yakkas, small slimies, pillies, that type of thing. So that's why we're running those smaller lures. Or the pilly rigs as well. Trolling liveys obviously works as well. Definitely worth a bit of a shot. We do have little livey rigs in the store that we tie here as well. Again, just on single strand wire, small little front hook just to pin it through the top and bottom jaw, keep it nice and straight, or through the nose, and just a little stinger on the back there that you can just prong wherever it fits. So the biggest thing is, guys, when you are rigging baits, try to keep all your hooks central. So if you go putting them on the side, like you normally put a pilly on, it's definitely going to spin because it's got drag, more drag on one side. If you're going to use a bigger rig, something like a Bonito or a Legal Taylor or something like that, don't just go put the hook straight in the side willy-nilly. You've got to run them up through the bottom, run it nice and straight, and yeah, you'll definitely get your bait swimming a lot better as well. You don't want to list in on one side or spinning. But yeah, apart from that, guys, when you're out there and you are slow trolling around, or you're at anchor and you're burling up and float lining half pillies, definitely worth having a rod rigged with a metal and having a bit of a metal spin on the side as well. So they're just some little 25 and 35 grammers. They work an absolute treat. Anything shiny, chrome and shiny is really good. Just run it on your lighter gear. Throw them out, let them sink a little bit. Even if they're busting up on the surface, still better to let it sink through. Occasionally you will get bitten off on the sink, but definitely a lot better odds and a lot better action if you let it sink through and then pull that lure back through the school as opposed to just over the top. So lots of Mac tuna out there spinning and little stripies and stuff like that, but definitely some Spanish spotties and the old wahoo around those bait schools as well by reports from this morning. So always good to see a bit of that life around in close. Apart from that, guys, offshore, a few dewies on the close reefs, like around the blocks and around the bait reef and stuff like that as well. But mackerel's definitely the flavour of the week, we'll say, before this next closure starts on the 1st of March. So 1st of March to the 21st of March, no fishing for Spanish mackerel again. But before then, guys, they're not endangered for a week or 9 days or whatever it is. So get out there and hopefully you get some. Moving inside now. Out the pin, definitely a lot of dirty water, that western area, so around Jacobswell and Cabbage Tree and all that type of area there. The water's very dirty, still a lot of runoff, still a lot of dirty water coming out the Logan. On the top of the tide, it does clean up a little bit, but on that run out tide, unfortunately, that water does turn over pretty quickly and it is pretty average. So I'd definitely be focusing more around the mouths again. So try around like Kalinga Bank, Tank Bank, which is around Caruso there, and Goldbank and Millionaires Row and all that type of centrally area towards that bar a little bit more. And on the high tide, even up around Tipplers, it would push that clean water a little bit further up. We do have a lot bigger tides this week, being a full moon on Saturday night, I think. But definitely still lots of flatties around there. Trolling, casting hard bodies, casting soft plastics, just work around those weedy fringed areas. And obviously on the top of the tide, drop-offs aren't much of a draw card. They will be a little bit more thinned out, but look for areas with that broken weed, bit of shaly bottom, and obviously bait as well. So again, if you want to troll, guys, there's a little Fishcraft Dr. Stretch. Put a little bit of a video up about these little fellas last week, but they've been selling really well and customers are coming back and buying more. So they've definitely been working, and just trolling little things like that just in gear have been working good. If not, we've got a bit of a new product this week as well, which will be really good for that trolling for flatties or casting for them or fishing around those mangrove lined creeks and stuff, maybe for a jack or a cod or the pontoons down here. We now sell Mad Dog timber lures. So these look really good, all handcrafted. They're a great little lure. Really nice finish on them and very, very cheap for an Australian made timber lure. So these things are going to work an absolute treat. And we've got a full range of these fellas of the 3 and 4 inch models in store. Plenty of different colors to choose from. And obviously those two sizes that I said before, that's the little 4 inch one. And yeah, some really nice colors in them. And they come with good hooks straight off the packet as well. So definitely worth a bit of a shot. If you're into trolling or casting, they are a lure to definitely give a shot. Apart from that, up the pin end, I did go for a bit of a prawn on Tuesday morning, so on that high tide. Look, there's been a bit of talk around that they'd been around for about a week and a half, but I just hadn't had a chance, so we zipped up there on Tuesday morning up to the Southern Bay Islands, a little bit further than normal, so a bit further north than the salt works, up around Coochie Mudlow. And look, there was a lot of prawns around, and yeah, really good. So we do have obviously a full range of 10 and 12 foot cast nets, top pocket, chain bottom, ready to go. These things are the business. Wilson do make a really good net, guys. And yeah, perfect if you want to get out there and give them a bit of a shot. We've got other brands downstairs as well. And yeah, but we got 20 litres, which is our bag limit for 2 people, or a maximum boat limit as well. Doesn't matter if it's 2 or more people. And I think we got that in about an hour 45, so it wasn't too bad at all. Apart from that, up that pin end, yeah, obviously look for that clean water, heaps of brim and stuff like that around as well. Closer to the bar and wide in weight in the flats up around those new lagoons, and Goldbank's been not too bad as well. Early morning, you do have that first push of the run-in tide, so it is definitely worth a shot up there to give a bit of a go, for the whiting that is. Still dewies in the pin bar as well, so live baiting or working vibes down deep or bigger size plastics. Back that middle section of the Broadwater, lots of crabs caught this last week, guys, so heaps of muddies and the occasional sandy, but predominantly muddies. Obviously that little bit of rain early last week has flushed more crabs out, and lots of crabs running around. The quality, they aren't A grade, they aren't fantastic, but they're definitely full enough. And yeah, there seems to be plenty of numbers around that all of the shots area, out the front of the Coomera, north and south arm, and out the front of the Pimpamar, just near Koran Cove there. And it's definitely worth a shot for your crabs. If you're fishing around there, you might as well put your pots in and check them afterwards, and you're nearly guaranteed a couple this time of year. Back down towards the Broadwater end a little bit more, lots of mangrove jack again. They have started moving their way back up all the creeks and rivers. Obviously, as that water does get a little bit saltier, jacks don't like fresh water. So after all that rain, they definitely get pushed out around the mouths, around Sovereign Island, in that middle Broadwater section, all the canal mouths around Runaway Bay and Bigara Creek. Again, trolling lures, like I can't wait to try these little fellas that I just showed you before, those little Mad Dogs. They're going to work an absolute treat, that 4 inch size, and troll them around the side of the pontoons. You'll get dewies doing it as well, trevally, flatties, bit of bycatch as well. But yeah, definitely worth an option. If not, live baiting around the same type of area works really good as well. But yeah, that middle Broadwater, definitely a little bit nicer, cleaner water around crab and around the back of wave break and stuff like that on the top of the tide. So definitely worth drifting around those edges of the banks and in those shallow channels. And Vibes have been working really good as well. So while that water is a little bit discoloured, you've got to think to yourself, like, yes, fish have pretty good sight, but they feel a lot as well. They've all got a lateral line, and they've all got kind of got that sense of feel. And any little vibes, little prawn patterns and stuff like that have been working a treat, because a lot of prawns have been washed out, and obviously they throw off a lot of vibration as well. So they will definitely trigger a bit of a bite if you can't necessarily, if the fish can't necessarily see it. They'll attract it with that vibration. Around the Seaway, again guys, heaps of bait. So still heaps of slimies and yakkers coming through on that run-in tide, just mainly on the current lines they're sitting. So definitely still worth a shot around there for jacks and jewies on the north wall. All that bait there, there's no reason for the fish to move on, and they haven't. They're still there. So definitely try around that area, and that'd be worth a shot. As that tide does build, it's going to be harder to fish during that middle section of the tide when it's running pretty hard. So I'd definitely try to fish it either on the top or the bottom, and just to give yourself a little bit better of a shot. Back a wave break again around Carter's Bank, lots of whiting for the guys that want to wade around. I see Clint from Gold Coast River Charters, he's been getting some big ones this week. So looks like around the back of wave break and around Carter's there, either that or around that Curlew Island, which is that little island just off of the Grand. Just wading around, flicking unweighted yabbies. It's been working a treat. You get some big brim bycatch and flatty, and definitely the whiting as well. So definitely worth a shot there on that run-in tide again as that bank floods. If not, down towards like Sheridan, Marina Mirage, been some good trevally and stuff like that for the guys that want to spin little hard bodies and little metals and stuff like that around the outsides of the pontoons on that run-in tide of a morning. There's been a lot of decent sized trevally around there as well. So that's definitely another option for you as well. Widening up the Nerang, so up around the council chambers, I haven't heard of a great deal. There has been a few fish up there, but just not the numbers that we were seeing before all that rain. So a lot of those fish have got flushed out, and they are around like that back of wave break and those middle flats around out the front of the Grand, just where that cleaner water is. There has been a few sandies down in that main channel from about the Grand to Sundale Bridge butt, just on the edges, and some of them have been pretty good size, but there's a lot of little ones, so you will have to sift through them a little bit, but like 20 to 30 crabs per pot, but obviously not all size. So yeah, but definitely you'll get a couple out of there as well. Apart from that guys, freshwater scene, those rivers, they are subsiding a little bit. So not so much flood water around. Do be careful, but obviously with all that flood water, it does move a lot. And still bassing the top end of the Coomera and the Nerang. Just throwing a little segmented hard bodies have been working quite good, and unweighted plastics just around where there's a bit of running water over some of that newly fallen trees. And yeah, definitely been a few bass around there. And apart from that guys, up the dam, hasn't been too bad either. I definitely just fished that newly flooded grass. I'd fish up there on the banks nice and early, little surface walkers, little cicada patterns. Makes it look like a little bug's coming out of the grass still, and those bass are up in that shallow water for one thing, and that's to feed. So if you can get up there and fish that newly flooded stuff, definitely a good option for you. If not, I'd definitely be working that deeper tree line and give that a bit of a shot around there as well. Trolling or vibing works really good. So couple of different options. As I said before, the weather does look promising for Saturday morning, fingers crossed. Tomorrow, which is Friday, doesn't look too bad as well. Lots of mackerel around. Get out there and make the most of it while you can. And if not, try your hand at prawning. I mean, you've got a high tide around about 10:30, so you don't have to wake up too early. Come down, we'll sell you a net and we'll show you how to throw it in the car park. And yeah, definitely worth a shot. Great activity for you and the whole family as well to get out there and give it a bit of a shot on the water. Until next week, guys, stay safe. Hopefully you catch a couple, and give our YouTube a follow and subscribe, and have a look at our socials as well on Facebook as well. So yeah, too easy guys. Till next week. Thanks.